Good morning everyone, good afternoon, good evening. How are you all doing? My name is Ellis and a very warm welcome to this channel. Got an interesting topic today which you may or may not have on your radar, but the energy of what I'm going to be discussing is going to be with us for the next 2 months. So I'm going to look at how it impacts us at a collective level and also how it can impact your life, but also how you can draw out the benefits and the blessings of what is going to be a second moon orbiting around the Earth for approximately the next 2 months. So I'm going to start by describing what this second mini moon actually is, and also we're going to be tuning into a very small little piece of lunar asteroid that I've got in my hand here. It's quite a story with regards to how I got that, so I'll share that as well. We're going to be looking at the symbolism and the spirituality of the number 2 and a lot more. So are you ready to get going? Let's do this. Let's start off then with a very brief summary, about a minute, to bring us all up to speed with what this mini moon actually is. So it's got a very unglamorous name, which is 2024 PTS, I think that is, or it could be PT5. Can't quite make out my writing. Let me look it up. PT5. It's actually a piece of space rock. It is part of the Arjuna asteroid belt, which is a group of space rocks that revolve around the sun, but which has been pulled in by our planet's gravity. And as I say, we'll be making a horseshoe shaped orbit around our Earth for the next 2 months before it gets sucked back out into outer space to wherever else it needs to go. It's said to be the size, I'm just looking here, it's said to be the size of a school bus at about 33 feet. That's interesting in terms of the number. 33 is a master number energy, as we know. And let's just clarify what a mini moon actually is. This one is not going to be visible to the naked eye, but you are going to be able to feel its energy, or certainly if you are conscious that it's actually there, you can pull down, hopefully, the beneficial energy and blessings that this can bring. But we're going to look at what those blessings might be, as well as maybe some of the challenges that it brings to and around our Earth as well. So what I've got written down here is that a mini moon is a small object orbiting another solar system body, and that can either be an asteroid, which is made of rock, or a comet, which is made of rock, dust and ice. So this mini moon is part of the Arjuna asteroid belt, and it's going to be with us for about 57 days, and then it won't be back until about 2055. Okay. It strikes me that its arrival, the timing of it is quite interesting, is it not? A lot going on in our world right now, and also we have Pluto in Capricorn closing out at around about November the 19th, and then we're moving into Pluto in Aquarius. I've done other videos on that. So that brings about quite a huge paradigm shift at the same time that we've got this, as I say, second mini moon with us. It's being said that the moon has got a travelling companion for the next 57 days from tomorrow on the 29th. And yeah, I rather like that analogy, really. So shall we get into this? Let's discuss it and see what Spirit would like to say. So I'm going to put my notes to one side and let's bring you up to speed with what I've got so far. So I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to tune into this piece of space rock that I'm holding in my hand, which I know is tiny and you can't see on my camera. But what you might be able to see, though, is my official documentation, don't you know, from the Meteorological Society. And this is a piece, this confirms that this is a genuine piece of lunar approved meteorite, and it was found, where was it found? Found in Algeria, basically, in 2017, around then, I think. And I will just give a shout out to this guy, because I have before when I've shown you this, but here we've got Mike, the meteorite man. He says, to Amanda, you are out of this world. I love that, because the point is, we are all out of this world. We all come from space. We're all made of stardust. And so to just hold a little piece of the moon in your hand is quite something. So let's firstly just tune into the moon that we see with our naked eye right now. And I've not done this before, I just want to have a bit of fun in this video. I would like to sense how the moon is feeling with the arrival of her travelling companion for the next 2 months. So the moon, as with every other thing, is a living entity, has its own consciousness. So let's just tune into how the moon is feeling with the arrival of PT5, let's just call it. We need to come up with a better name than that, but okay, PT5. So I'm being shown like a mother energy getting ready for the arrival of an offspring. If not an offspring that you have given birth to, somebody else's child. Okay, so it's literally as though getting the house ready for the arrival of a visitor, and very much like you would be doing if you had a visitor. You know, you clean out the closets, you make sure that things are looking spick and span. So I'm feeling more than anything a state of readiness, a state of preparation from the moon for the arrival of, I'm hearing its sister sign. So we know that the moon is a feminine energy anyway, but to have a second mini moon joining it, we have a double feminine energy. Feminine energy by the power of 2 is what I'm hearing. And yeah, that's quite interesting. So it's like this double feminine energy coming in. What else am I sensing just from what I'm feeling here or I'm holding in my hand? Okay, this is a collective message for all of us, I believe, which is I'm being shown the hardness and the brittleness just before impact. So we can steel ourselves a little bit for an impact of something, whether that be a new arrival into a family, a new energy, a new idea. And what I'm being shown is it feels as though we know that there's going to be a shift coming for Earth and her inhabitants, a shift in consciousness. We've been talking about that for many years. But before that actually arrives, there is a stiffening, a tautness, it's just, I'm just feeling it energetically in my body. It's as though there's a fortification because we don't quite understand, although we think we do, but we don't, what is to arrive. So there's this, very much like how a meteorite, I'm being shown something like places on our planet which have had full impact of an asteroid or meteorite. And I don't know which of the two it was for Grand Canyon, but I'm just being shown the Grand Canyon. But just before the impact, which changed the structure of that land forever, there was like a stiffening. It's like I'm feeling it in the sinews and the muscles of Mother Earth, getting ready just before something lands, okay? And I'm now being shown the baby also just before a baby lands. It's as though the midwife is there to catch it, but there is this sense of anticipation and slight stress in the air, to be honest, in terms of, is it going to be okay? Am I going to actually catch the new life? So that's how she's feeling right now. Let's now track forward 24 hours, because I'm recording this on the 28th, so it hasn't actually entered into around us yet. The arrival of it. Let's just feel how it actually arrives. This all feels very, very symbolic in terms of the arrival of new consciousness, actually, because, okay, there's a tautness, there's a like, oh, what's it going to be like? Is it going to be okay? Are we safe? How much damage is it going to do? Because, you know, there has to be space made for the new to arrive, which means a clearing out of the old. We want to let go of the old, all of this. But then when it arrives, the impact is much softer than we think it's going to be. It's an easier birth. It's an easier transition. It feels as though what PT5 is helping us do, its energy is wanting to transmit calmness, almost like eye of the storm type energy, calmness, bringing calmness into the world, but also a sense of you can do it. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be as hard as you think it's going to be. You're making it harder than it needs to be, is what I'm feeling I want to channel here. It feels as though I'm channeling here this PT5, really struggling to call it PT5 because that's a very scientific, robotic name. And what I'm tuning into with this mini moon is it has a consciousness, it has a soul, it has an essence, it has a life force. It feels friendly, it feels warm, it feels as though it's here to help us, to illuminate the collective consciousness, to bring about a more rising of the divine feminine. But she is saying to us, you are making it harder than it needs to be. And I'm now being shown Mother Earth, which heavily fortified, but it's fortified by people like you and me. It's not necessarily soldiers. It's people who just want to welcome in the new, but are still a little bit fearful or frightened because we don't fully understand what it's going to be like. And that's us on the front line that have an understanding of what is coming, okay? Because within us there's still cellular memory of when big changes came to other places where we've been before, and how when true possibility of a more enlightened energy comes in, how frightening that can be for others that don't understand it, when everything's falling away and it just looks like chaos and darkness and collapse. Actually, that is the moment of transmutation, transformation and rebirth. So we on the front line, I'm just being shown the earth, and it's like the light workers are this first layer of there needs to be a welcoming party, basically, for this new earth energy. But behind us are many people who are not understanding, who are frightened, who are scared, who are overwhelmed, who just want to leave this planet because it's all getting too much. But we have to literally hold the line, but we also have to welcome in these energies which are here to help us, okay? And this mini moon definitely feels as though it holds some that energy. Okay, so now I just want to tune in to the mini moon as it's making its orbit around the Earth, and it's being said that it's going to orbit in a horseshoe shape, and that strikes me as being a lucky sign, does it not? Okay, so I'm being shown, number one, a horseshoe being put onto the horse, and I'm being shown the Chariot card in the tarot, which usually has a depiction of horses in many decks. And these horses that pull the chariot, and the chariot is the new earth energy, need new shoes. So the old ones have been removed, and the horseshoes that are being put onto these new horses that are not bringing, it's not the 4 horses of the apocalypse, it's the horses that are bringing in the new earth energy. They are being shod, is that the right word, with these beautiful copper horseshoes. And copper, of course, is a conductor of energy, and they are helping to bring in this sweeping shift and change, which is going to come quicker than we think it is. Okay, I just want to park something I need to say in a minute. I want to just focus on this horseshoe shape. Yeah, so I'm being shown the mini moon now, as I say, orbiting the Earth, but it's in a horseshoe shape. And the horse, as it does that, again, if we're conscious, even though we can't see it with our naked eye, but we know it's happening for the next 2 months, we can visualize and amplify the energy of good luck that is being placed around Mother Earth, okay, with regards to this horseshoe shape. Now, I just want to say something about a dream I had last night, okay, because we live in a world of great duality. So, of course, when there is... sorry, my computer's just gone off. I need that to be on. When there is great luck and blessings and positivity, there can also be the opposite, okay? So in my dream last night, I dreamt of the storm that is coming. I mean, I know we're sick and tired of hearing about this coming storm, excuse me, but you know, it is part analogy and part fact. By that I mean storm as in physical storm with regards to weather and hurricanes and tornadoes and rain and parched land and all the rest of it. There's a weather storm, as it were. Also the storm that is coming with regards to the collapse of the old and the tower moments that are falling around our earth, politically, socially, culturally. But this was the point of the dream. So in my dream, I was in... just need to go back to it. I can't remember whether I was actually in the water or I was on a beach. No, I was on a boat. I was on a boat. That's right, I was on a boat. But it was like a shallow boat. It was like a rowing boat. But I was aware there were lots of other people with me. And it was a nice sunny day, basically. And I was enjoying the water, the sunshine, just the feeling of, you know, nice day. And then in the distance, I saw these clouds forming. But the colour of the clouds were dark purple and black. And they came very, very quickly. This is the point, okay, so the storm can come quickly, but so too can the new dawn, right? So let's keep with the dream for a moment. So I became aware of this coming storm and the purple and black clouds that were coming really, really quickly. And I scrambled to safety on the land. And what was interesting, and I don't know if this is also linked into maybe the war energy with regards to what's going on with Lebanon and Israel at the moment, maybe. So I scrambled to safety. I knew I needed to get out of the water. I needed to get away from the storm. I needed to get away from the elements that were going to do whatever they needed to do, or the war that was going to do whatever it needed to do, unfortunately. But there was a whole load of coaches and buses and that were there to drive people to safety. I suppose a bit like a modern day ARC, but they were like National Express coaches that we have here in the UK, double-decker coaches. But the interesting thing about it was they had country names on the coaches, and there were a lot of coaches there for people in America and USA, plentiful supply of people that needed to get to safety and would be kept safe from this coming storm. But I'm a British woman and I was looking for the British bus, and the British bus was right at the end of the line of coaches, most of which seemed to be American. So maybe the storm is hitting particularly America, because remember we're talking a 2-month time frame and we've got the election coming up. There was a lot of buses to help get people to safety in USA. Remember, this is symbolic, it's energetic, but the UK bus at the end was really small. And I was worried about my friends and people, you know, that I knew were following me who were also British. And I said to the person who was organising all the buses and the coaches, there isn't enough room for all the Brits. And it wasn't resolved, basically. I think it basically said something. I think the person in charge said something like, well, they can just get on any of the other buses. And then I woke up. It was all a bit chaotic, but it was really weird because there wasn't, how I interpreted it, so I know I'm going a little bit off track here, but I feel it's important to bring this in. I felt it was linked into the Lebanon-Israel situation and getting people out in time. Or maybe it's another place in the world that's going to flare up and a storm's going to come. But it's as though there wasn't enough contingency for the Brits, for whatever reason. So, all right, so I've relayed that dream. But the point of it was how quick the storm was coming. But what I'm also being shown just now in this channeling is also how quick the new dawn can come. So as I've been teaching you for many months now, we have to be nimble-footed and we have to energetically be supple and flexible and not get stuck in any one particular energy. As the mini-moon orbits our Earth, it's going to be bringing many changes, and I'm hearing swift delivery, but even though the delivery, whatever that is, might be challenging, traumatic in places, the help that arrives afterwards is also swift. And whatever happens that might be difficult, what follows is needed, worth it, and lasts for hundreds and hundreds of years. So very much like an eclipse energy, and I know we've got another solar eclipse coming up in the middle of all this stuff with the mini moon. We know that an eclipse energy lasts for many, many months after the actual day of the eclipse. So what I'm feeling is that the power of this mini moon coming in to our gravitational field where we exist and we live is going to have long-term ramifications that we don't necessarily ever even attribute to its arrival and its departure. And I'm being shown that its arrival and its departure are particularly the key moments where we might be able to feel its energy the most. So by that, we're talking about the 29th of September, which is tomorrow, and then it leaves on the 25th of November, okay? So those two dates, 29th of September, give or take 24 hours maybe either side, and the 25th of November feel as though they bring in very big energies to our world, but equally maybe to our personal lives as well. Okay, let me just tune in now to the moon and the mini moon, and I'm going to ask about our personal lives and what we can expect, because that was more like what's going on collectively. So I'm just going to go back in, and you can visualize this yourself as well. So just visualize and see the moon in your mind's eye. Okay, so place her however you want to place her. Really see that, and then visualize and see and welcome in this mini moon, and you can see her at any part of her orbit, any part of the horseshoe, at the start, the middle, the end, what, it doesn't matter, just see her somewhere, the traveling companion of the moon as they orbit our Earth. And let's just feel into the impact that can have on our own personal lives. Right. The first thing I'm seeing is a double rainbow. And the rainbow is a blessing, is it not? But the rainbow also comes after rain, but then the sun follows. So I'm feeling a double rainbow energy. It also feels as though it's a double protection energy. I'm being shown something like a cell membrane. A new life coming in. Oh, okay, right, understand. So, because you could interpret that as like a new baby or conception. It could be that for some of you. But what I'm being shown is there's actually a potential of cellular change within our bodies. So I'm actually seeing the individual cells within our bodies, which I'm assuming have some sort of membrane, or that's how I'm being shown them, a cell with a membrane. And that resistance and that tautness and that, is it going to be okay type energy, that outer membrane that might hold a memory of trauma, or, oh God, this is what happens when the planet elevates. I remember what this was like when it was Atlantis or Lemuria. Oh God. It's as though it thins and it softens and it dissolves that layer of fear. And then there's like this injection of energy that comes into the cells. And that injection is light, but it's divine feminine light into the cells. I'm literally seeing like a Petri dish, but I'm just being shown this to try to illustrate the point to you, because this is multiplied thousands of times with regards to however many cells you've got in your body, which I'm sure are a multitude. But let's say we take one cell out of our body and it's in the Petri dish, and that represents you. And that outer membrane is just being broken, just like a little needle going in, but it doesn't hurt. But the needle energy is light, and it's the new light. It's the new dawn. It's the new earth energy coming into our cells. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting to say any of this. This is really interesting. Okay. So this is powerful stuff. Now, the thing to say as well is that most people won't have any appreciation that any of this is going on at all. Awakened versus unawakened. This is something that you can draw down and receive as a download of light if you have the mindset, the will, and the intention to do it. And if you straight away go to your mind in terms of how do I do it, how do I do it, what day do I have to do it, when do I do it, you know, what do I say, you've missed the whole point. Because this is a frequency energy transmission that will find you if you're in the right place. And by that I'm talking the right emotional place. Doesn't mean you can't be, you know, maybe in grief or going through difficult times in your life. It's to do with readiness for change. Readiness. I'm being shown the vessel, the cup. It's like the Holy Grail cup, ready to receive. I'm ready to receive. It's a very number 2 energy. I'm ready to receive. Think about what 2 does. 2 creates life. You need 2 to create life. So I'm just being shown the hands. I'm ready to receive. And this can happen in dream state. It can happen when you're sleeping. It can happen when you're going about your day. It's upgrade that comes in. What I think would be a good idea is if we just set the intention. I'm recording this the day before of the arrival of the mini moon, just to say, I welcome in. Let's do it together. Let's just have a moment together. I want to use a spray as well. I'm going to use the Ashtar Galactic Command Spray just to bring in this galactic type energy. I welcome in the blessings, the gifts, the upgrades, the light codes that this mini moon can bring into my own life. I let go of any fear, whether conscious or unconscious, that I hold. I embrace all that is to come. I welcome the changes into our world. I am a light bearer. a light giver, a light holder. I am the new light. I am the new light. Okay. I want to show a couple of cards, which I've already pre-selected because they're the ones I wanted to show you. This isn't a card reading. I wanted to remind you of the Vesica Pisces energy. 2 circles entwined create the third energy in the middle. 1 and 1 make 2. So partnerships feel as though they're going to be very highlighted. The interaction in partnerships, and I don't just mean romantic partnerships, it could be parent and child, friends, partners, definitely, yes, mother and father, etc. So partnerships being highlighted in the next 2 months. Also the partnership you have with, I wanted to say the Most High, which I know is a particular style of talking, but that's what I'm hearing, with the Most High. Metatron's coming in here now, and he's saying that also takes us into the realm of the highest version of yourself. The partnership between you and the highest version of who you are. Imagine if this image here was of you as you presently are, and this image here was of the highest version that you can be at this particular time, and that this mini moon energy is helping to merge those two to create the portal for it. Also the partnership you have, so the partnership you have between your higher self and you, the partnership you have with you and your God, whatever that means, the partnership that you have with Mother Earth, the partnership that you have with the elementals, and then you could take it into so many other areas of your life. The partnership that you have with any compartment of your life where you're struggling with, lift it up. The partnership that I have with exercise, the partnership that I have with work, the partnership that I have with family, the partnership that I have with duty, whatever it is. So as well as seeing the cup that is there to be filled, I'm also being shown the thing that you are raising up for help with, to receive. It's very much an energy of balance as well. In the Christ Consciousness deck, this is from the Christ Consciousness deck, the number 2 card, interestingly, is the card of sisterhood. And it's got the 2 Marys, Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. And so it's what I've already said, this doubling down of feminine energy. I'm wondering, and I would like to put out there into the consciousness to manifest, I would like to maybe see a doubling down of the feminine in terms of what we will stand for, what we will not. I've channeled before on my other social media, I think on Instagram and Facebook, it was a shorter video, but it was something along the lines of seeing this wave of women, basically, this army of women who do eventually stand up and say no more, not in my name. Not my son, not my daughter. That could be a reference to war, for example. You're not having them for the war machine. It could be in all other, many other examples as well, with regards to the oppression of women, the violence against women, etc. You know, so I've always seen this uprising of effectively what is sisterhood, and it's all ages of women. But I particularly tuned into a group or a branch of the army, as it were, I'm talking spiritual army, of older women standing up as well for the younger women who haven't yet found their voice. So this number 2 energy and sisterhood is also highlighted in the next 2 months. The other thing with regards to my other deck that I've done, which is the Archangel Metatron deck, so we've got Sisterhood in the Christ Consciousness deck, and the number 2 card in the Metatron deck is the Moon. And it is about reflection and review, time out needed. So sorry, I'm just tuning back into this mini moon energy. I'm feeling that there might be a wave of tiredness. I mean, some of you are probably saying, oh no, not again, because we already feel tired, or we have been tired, and we've just got our energy back. But remember, upgrade comes at a cost to the physical body. The physical body has to have time to process and integrate changes, particularly if you're talking cellular changes. We are becoming more... We're moving from a carbon body to a light body. It's an enormous change. The body requires time. And I'm going to go off on a slight little tangent here, but it's an important one. It's this thing about evolution, because there are evolutionary changes that need to happen to the human body to be able to hold this amount of light, which normally require hundreds, if not thousands of years, you know. So the fact that we don't have a tail anymore, but we used to have a tail, that type of thing. The fact that, you know, maybe you believe we used to be not be able to walk on 2 feet, but we're on all fours, that type of thing. Evolutionary changes to the human body. I took my daughter actually to the opticians yesterday, and he said a shocking thing to me. He said something along the lines of, don't quote me on this because I might be out by a couple of decades, but decades are nothing with regards to evolution. But he was saying that, I think it was something like the 1950s, something like, I don't know, 20% of people needed glasses by the age of whatever it was. He quoted me, 30, 40, I can't remember. But he said now it's something like over 60%. It's an extraordinary number of people that now need glasses. And it's because of the changes we've made to our culture. The fact that we're all looking at our phones, we're looking at screens. We're not being like the hunter-gatherer would have been, which was scanning the distance for, you know, predators. We're just up close. So it's having an impact on our eyes. And I was thinking, okay, so if that is the case, our eyes are going to have to adapt to this more online world that we have. And I don't feel as though we've got thousands of years to adapt to that. It's as though there needs to be a faster adaptation. That's just one example, you know. But yeah, so back to what I'm really trying to say here. I'm feeling evolutionary changes. Now again, is this all going to happen in 2 months? No, of course not. But it's as though I'm feeling seeds are germinated for the new human, whatever that new human is going to look like in the future. Many people, myself included, have talked about a longer head, you know, for the additional capabilities of clairvoyance and telepathy, etc. I think I've channeled bigger feet before, that type of thing. But, you know, our body shape will change. We're also getting taller. Each generation are getting taller. So I don't know. I don't know what the change is to the human body that I'm picking up here, but there's something new. There's something new. Feels as though it might be linked into the neck area actually, but anyway, I'm not getting any more on that, so I'll move on. The other card that I wanted to pull out was the only other card from the Metatron deck that shows a moon, but I think it's interesting, is this one, which is Lilac Realms, and it's to do with magic. Lilac Realms and magic, and it literally shows like a make-believe castle in the air. Takes us back to almost like a childlike state of princes and princesses and fairy castles and all of that. So I feel as though childlike, or I'm trying to say here, it's more inner child type energy I'm feeling. The child within, it's another example of partnership, the partnership you have with your inner child. Do you ever take notice of her or him? It's as though we grow up, don't we? And we lose the magic. We lose the We become cynical. We don't believe in the happy ever after. I think, are on a timeline, and I want to talk about this more in my October video, which I'll be recording tomorrow or the next day, which is to do, we really need to get off the timeline we're on at the moment, which is a timeline of doom and despair, and it's getting worse, and we see it out there all the time. People are just becoming more and more like this, looking down at the ground rather than looking up at the stars. We need to remember we are of the stars, and that we are of magic, that we have magic within our bones is what I'm hearing. We have magic within ourselves. We have magic within the water and the blood within us. We are magic. We can create magic. Back to that dream last night. Yes, I saw this storm approaching, but today I'm also seeing the dawn, which can come just as quickly. Okay, so it's, as I said before, it's about being flexible and dancing with life. Let's look at this card, duality. Okay, dancing with life in all its different remits. Also wanted to bring into this video, I've mentioned them before on a previous video, but you know, this thing about number 2, I want to talk about number 2 now, and I'm going to reference Linda Goodman's Star Signs book. Thank you very much, Shelley, for sending it to me a while back. I appreciate that, from Nebraska. Hope you're well, a regular follower of mine. And yeah, looking up what Linda talks about here about the number 2, I'm just going to read a little bit of it to you. Yeah, so it says number 2. So the definition of number 2 applies to both people and entities. Two people are dreamers with a tendency to fear the unknown or the unfamiliar. They are imaginative and inventive, but not always as forceful as could be in carrying out their plans and ideas. Well, that's interesting, because I was picking up this fear of the unknown, but this is also saying that with this number 2 energy in town, the 2 moons, we can combat that with imagination and invention. It's this card. We definitely need to be in the flow of the inventor, the creator, the yeah, that's sort of the mindset that we need to be in our own life. Waking up, what can I create today? What can I invent today? And I'm not talking about a space rocket. I'm just talking about what can I create from what I have around me. Whatever your circumstances, there is always a possibility of a degree of magic that you can bring into your day. If you don't send it out, everything starts with a thought. So it really is a time of great magic. And again, I'll weave this into the October video, because I want to say in the October video, again, we really need to be counteracting these darker forces in October by being, what I'm hearing are the magic weavers, okay? The other thing about number 2 people she's saying here, she's talking about numerology number 2, is to do with romance. So romantic nature, intuition, psychic ability, that type of thing. I also want to bring in the energy of balance for number 2, the feminine, which I've already stated. What else did I write down? Harmony, yeah. Okay, so let's pull a couple of cards at this point and see what else we get. Did I just mention the 2 trapped astronauts, or did I go off on a tangent? I think I might have gone off on a tangent. Yeah, I did. I wanted to bring in the 2 astronauts lost in space, okay? That just feels... We've got 2 mini moons. We've got 2 trapped astronauts in space. Let's pull a card for those 2 trapped astronauts. Let's go to this deck. I have talked about this before in another video, but let me just see. What do we get today? The 2 trapped astronauts in space. Hoping they return safe and sound, of course, but what is the symbolism of that for us? What is the symbolism of that? I mean, literally being lost in space. Yeah, I know, but interesting. We've got the card of reveal and we've got the card of progress. That's really nice. I think the fact, okay, what I'm hearing is for every problem there is a solution, but the solution doesn't come via old ways of thinking. there is going to be a new, there's going to be, I mean, hopefully they get back safe and sound. But it's to do with whoever the brain power is, trying to get these, it's a man and a woman, isn't it, back to Earth. It's like there's a new invention, there's something new that is, there's a new idea that comes in that no one's thought of yet in terms of how to bring this about. And it's still in its infancy because we've got the Page of Pentacles. It hasn't yet been revealed how we're going to do this, but we're making progress on it. We've also got the King of Cups for them as well, which is a card of emotional balance. So there's somebody within the rescue party down here on Earth who is divinely placed to be able to help get them home. It reminds me of the film Apollo, whatever it was, with Tom Hanks. And I can't remember what the actor was. What was the actor with the grey hair? Good actor. But anyway, he was always calm. He always knew he was going to get his guys back. And that's the energy I'm getting from whoever this is in charge of this operation. It might not be a man, it might be a woman, but they have the energy of the King of Cups. Anyway, I just wanted to bring them into this video. Right, let's see. Anything else to say then about this mini moon phenomenon that we've got going on for the next 2 months? So what is it bringing in? Anything else that I haven't said or that you would like to bring into this video? Calling in the energy of Archangel Metatron and Ashtar in particular. We've got the Queen of Swords, and look there. Look at her there in that card. We've also got these, which I'm going to take out, which is the Ace of Cups. And we've got a King of Pentacles. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. We've also got the Nine of Cups. There's a balancing of the masculine and the feminine energy that is possible. For my people that watch me for twin flame videos, maybe I'll have to do a twin flame special on this mini moon phenomenon. But mini moons aren't new, by the way. They have happened before, but it's more that it's like anything. We have more awareness of them now. We're talking about them more. And because we are doing that, they can potentially hold more power, because it's like anything. If you notice something, it has more power. And hopefully we're going to bring in, as I say, the positive stuff. So we've got the King of Pentacles, very balanced masculine energy. Look at that, set against the moon. And then we've got the Queen of Swords. So we've got Earth and Air. Earth and Air. That's pretty accurate. We've got the Earth. The moon is orbiting the Earth. The feminine is orbiting the masculine. And sort of what I said just now about the feminine energy rising on this planet. She's not out for vengeance or revenge. She's seeking justice. Look at that moon. Can you see that in this depiction, it's dualistic? The moon is dualistic. It's half in shade, half in light. It's wanting to bring balance back. The Queen of Swords is wanting to bring balance back. And she has a sword of justice, but she's very, very composed. It's what I was channeling with regards to this mini moon's energy. It's not going to be as bad. We just need to, it's not going to be as bad as we think it is, but it's also, we have to be composed. We have to be in the eye of the storm, or not in the eye of the storm. We have to model being in the eye of the storm. And the Ace of Cups in the middle of it. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay. Let's go to Ashtar now. I feel like I'd like to do a little bit of work with Ashtar. Okay. This is Commander Ashtar, Galactic Federation. This is the Platinum Ray. I'll link it below if you're interested in purchasing one of these. It just helps you to connect to his energy, and of course the galactics. So Commander Ashtar. I don't know what this means. He's saying what a show is about to be put on. What a show is about to be put on. So I'm going back to our moon getting ready for the arrival of this mini moon. And, you know, sweeping the floors, all of that type of energy, you know, getting ready. And now I'm being shown what a show is to be put on. Right, what do you mean by that? Where stars and heavens meet, delight is found. Where heaven and earth collide is where the new is born. I'm feeling something coming down to earth. I'm seeing something arriving on earth. And please don't misquote me here. Well, I have to stay open-minded, actually. I have to stay open-minded, okay? You can misquote me if you want to, but because I don't think it's like the arrival of Jesus or anything, but because it's maybe just this Christ consciousness energy. But it's physical. It's something physical. It doesn't have to be that, but it's something arriving in physical form. I think this is an analogy, but I'm now being shown something coming out of the earth, but it's like a fountain. A fountain of youth. Venus energy. Venus energy is love. Oh, Venus energy is linked into partnership. A lot of the people I've channeled with the Heart Squad have a Venusian quality. Princess Diana being one. I'm not saying it is Princess Diana about to reappear, but it's the Venus energy. Fountain of youth. I'm being drawn to the Greek goddesses as well. I've got Aphrodite sitting over there on my shelf. Let me just go and grab her, if she doesn't mind. Hold on. Cover up her cleavage or we'll get into trouble, but anyway. Let's keep it light. Aphrodite energy. Yeah, bounty, fertility, joy, delight. Pleasure, surprise, I'm just feeling this energy of, it's like a jack-in-the-box type energy, but it's like as everything becomes really difficult and dark and there is just this other energy that just arises. It's the feminine energy. It's Aphrodite, it's all of them. As all of these divine feminine templates, energies, archetypes, and the point is they all actually exist within ourselves. So it's your ability to be able to tap into all of them and feel them and become them and embody them and show the world them. So I'm thinking now, I'm sensing now, that rather than it being something that lands, I mean, it could still be, I'm still being drawn to maybe it is a meteorite or something, or an asteroid. I'm not talking about the mini-moon, but something else that's coming into our solar system, onto our planet. I do feel something might fall from the sky. But but it's holding an energy. It's also revealing fossilized remains, I'm hearing. So as the new comes in, it also is revealing the old and our history and what we come from and who we are. So as we progress, we also understand more about who we have been and where we came from. So it's coming down, but it's also coming from within. I feel as though this fountain is coming from within. For those that really are understanding what I'm saying here and getting this is so profound and beautiful. But again, you have to work it. You have to use it. You have to ask for it. It's all there within the cells. All of these templates are there within the cells. You are this, you are also that. Wow. Okay. Let's put that one back. I just want to see if I get a different, message using this spray. This is the Archangel Metatron Cosmos Elemental Spray, and it says on it, expand. So it's about expanding into more of our multidimensional self, understanding our place in the wider universe. Let's just see. So the cosmos. Coming home to the cosmos, not feeling as though the cosmos is separate from you, not feeling as though the cosmos is so far away. It's all in here. It's all in here. It's out there, but it's also in here. Greater understanding of our galactic origins, as well as our earthly incarnation and time that we've spent here. So this Cosmos spray, how to use this to embrace all of who you are, that it's not out there. Help me tune into what's out there. Help me tune into what is out there but is reflected in here. Show me the part of myself that is a little bit Mars, or a little bit Venus, or a little bit Pleiadian, or a little bit Arcturian. All of that. Okay, nice. I've got two other decks here which I was going to use, so let's do it. This is the Gaia Oracle. So let's pull a card here. We've been talking all the time about the moons orbiting the Earth. Let's ask Mother Earth how she's doing with all of this. Okay, with these two visitors, well, not visitors, but one of them is a visitor. How's she feeling with these two travelling companions orbiting her? Let's get a sense of Mother Earth. Oh wow, what's that one on the bottom? Oh, and that one. Okay, let me just do this one first. Okay, so how is Mother Earth doing? That the moon is part of me and I am part of the moon. We see the planets as separate, don't we? That's the Earth, that's the moon, that's Mars, that's Venus. I am part of the moon and she is part of me. Beautiful. Love, ocean of eternal love, healing, creativity and fertility. And then the other thing, so sweet really in many ways, so cute, it's like the sun. We're not talking about the sun. The sun's like, hold on a minute, hold on, where am I in all of this? You're talking about the moon, you're talking about the earth, what about me? And the earth is saying, thinking of you, acknowledging you, embracing the moon and what she gives me and what I give her, and that there is a partnership between the two, and that she gives the light upon this planet, and also thinking of in darkness and thinking of the sun that gives the light on this planet, me basically, Earth talking now, thinking of you. A loving thought, serendipity. The Earth as a conscious being saying, it's almost like giving a high five and waving to the moon, to the sun. And then the next card is the card of harmony. Harmony, balance between the moon and the sun. But it's also a card that shows the divine feminine yet again. And it's to do with power, self-confidence and productivity. Very nice. Interestingly, card number 29, the one about the sun, the mini moon comes in on the 29th. So there might also be some big solar flares that come off. I felt this energy before, it's a really weird one to say. Putting it in human language, which it would be better to put it in light language, really. But in human language, it's almost like there's a bit of a competitiveness here between the moon and the sun, you know? So the moon's about to have her moment. This is masculine and feminine energy as well. The moon is about to have her moment. She's about to have a double moon, okay? And the sun is like, hold on a minute. No, I'm not having that. What about me? I'm going to emit some huge, big solar flares. You're not going to forget about me. Don't you forget about me. That Simple Minds song. I'm really hearing that song. So, yeah, look out for that as well. Let's just ask, before we end with a final card, what are the challenges for us with regards to these energies over the next couple of months with the mini moon? What are the main challenges for us that this might bring in? Okay, so what are the main challenges that this might bring in, please, for us? Mini moon energy. What are the main challenges that this might bring in? Finding balance, basically. So the gift is balance, but the challenge is balance. I think I've been a bit ahead of the curve, guys, even though I don't mind saying so myself, because I've been doing videos recently on balance. I've really been feeling it. Excuse me, let's get my throat back into balance with a bit of water. This is the challenge, temperance, finding peace. But it's what I've said already. It's what the moon herself was channeling. It doesn't have to be as difficult as you make it, but you can make it really, really difficult. It's true of life, isn't it? We can make it harder or we can make it easier for ourselves. A lot of the time we make it harder because we get stuck in lower energies of, I don't know, jealousy, blame, judgment, needing to be right, not letting go. Whereas actually, if we just soften and go back into the heart and into love, it can be a lot easier. Whatever is going on in our life can be a lot easier, especially also if we make partnership with the divine within ourself and external. So the challenge is temperance. But I feel as though I've also got the card of judgment, sorry, that was also there. Let me just show you that. Judgment set against the moon with a huge, great big angel and great big angel wings. The gift and the blessing are pretty much, the gift and the blessing and the challenge are all tied in together. That during the time of judgment, during the time of the towers falling, this card says inner calling. That's when you're asked to be your calmest, your most peaceful, your most grace-filled, your most loving, your most kind, because not everybody else is going to be able to do that. So somebody has to model it. And I feel as though if you've got a guide, especially one as powerful as Archangel Metatron, you're going to get nudged to do that. Because it's human to maybe want to go into the gossip or the drama or whatever, but you're going to be steered back. You're going to be steered back. Seven of Swords is there, you see, with the High Priestess. So we know there are things going down in our world, and we know there's manipulation, we know there's lies, we know there are secret plans all the time to distort, bring agendas in. Your job is to stay like this, balanced. And I think that's the greatest gift, actually, that this mini moon brings in, the gift of balance. So let's end with the earth elemental, Mother Earth, around which all of this drama goes on, all of the blessings come in, around her, upon her. Let's just end with Earth. Mother Earth. And we give thanks to Mother Earth for all that she births, all that she gives, all that she allows, all that she tolerates, all that she endures. But we also now tune into her strength, her tenacity, her perseverance, her love, her everlasting love. her power, her lessons, her teachings, her beauty. We honour her. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you again soon for the October read, which will be in a few days' time. Please like this video if you have liked it. Let's get it out there. Thank you very much to everybody that has watched, subscribed. I appreciate you all. Thanks very much. Bye-bye for now. Bye.